Chapter 5. I'm oversensitive. That's the right word. I'm so sensitive that I overcompensate by being nasty about it to myself, like some animal goaded to the edge. And this contradictory emotion ranging inside my body makes my whole sense of self crumble. It's become a habit to look in the mirror after I've had a bad confrontation along these lines, to take in my hot face where even my ears have turned red. My face looks pathetic and shabby to me during these times of my inner war. Eyes that are bloodshot and unfocused. My fringe all messy. A dim and stupid expression as if I've no idea what my own brain is thinking. I look like someone of no consequence, an invisible person. My mood plunges and the mental balance I'd carefully built up to that point completely collapses. Psychiatrist. How have you been? Me. I was fine and then not so fine around Thursday and Friday, and then I was fine again. Psychiatrist. Why? What happened in those days? Me. Remember that friend I told you about? You said me showing my anxiety to others could make them feel burdened with it. I understand that intellectually, but it's so difficult for me not to fall back into that pattern. You know how drinking sometimes leads to excessive honesty? I was having a beer with my friend on Thursday and telling her about the other friend I had in the last semester of university. And I ended up telling her about my anxiety like I did in our last session. I regret that so much. Psychiatrist. How did your friend react? Me. Just, oh, I see. That kind of thing. Because I kept repeating myself, that made me feel extremely depressed and regretful late into the night. But I was immediately fine on Friday. You know how I said when I like someone, I'm convinced that other person is going to think less of me? And I was dependent on my older sister who also took care of me. And in most of my friendship, I have been on the side of being helped and supported more than me helping or supporting the other. But this friendship is the first time I felt like I could do anything for the other person. Psychiatrist. Do you see a lot of yourself in her? Me. Not exactly. She's a little different. She is not used to showing her feelings, whereas I think I'm good at expressing mine. How I feel, what I feel, I'm good at articulating those things. But she's not like that. And she says so herself. I was worried that she was someone who suppresses her emotions. I read something about that in a book, that emotions have something like passageways. And if you keep blocking your bad emotions, you end up blocking your good emotions as well. Your emotional tunnels become blocked. That really rang true for me. I told my friend that, but then my friend kept messaging me things that I didn't seem important, which annoyed me. Psychiatrist. You were annoyed? Me. Yes. Psychiatrist. You weren't annoyed with her last week? Me. Right. I was mostly worried she would think less of me because I was treating her well, which is why it was harder on Thursday. The reason it got better on Friday was that I remembered how I tended to twist my own thoughts too much. So I said to myself, let's think about it differently, and I concluded that this is just the way my friend is. She isn't exactly friendly in the conversational way, but she was sending these messages because she was comfortable with me, and she liked me, not because she thought less of me. Another thought I had was, so what if she thought less of me and was mocking me? That's not the end of the world. Psychiatrist. Do you think you felt bad because you talked about your friend from college? Me. I really regretted telling that story on Thursday and chastised myself for making people get so tired of me. But my friend was so casual about it the next day that I was reassured. If she had been cold, I would have thought, oh, that's because I told her that story the other day. Psychiatrist. It's odd you have no middle ground there. Me. I'm always thinking in extremes, black and whites. Psychiatrist. You were afraid she would get tired of you, but it looks like you're getting tired of her. Me. Yes. I'm not used to such contradictory emotions, which is why I'm telling you this now. And remember how you told me in our last session that my feeling of being selected would create a feeling of obligation in me? I didn't want to admit that at the time, but I think you were right. She selected me. She opened her heart to me. I have to do well by her. I kept thinking that. Psychiatrist. We don't live in some caste system. No one has the right to select anyone for anything. It's all give and take. Like in your relationship with your partner, you just go back and forth in being the giver and the receiver, right? Me. Right. And because I hate that so much, I always end up with whoever likes me the most. Psychiatrist. You're seeing a flaw in your friend, which is why you also feel a bit superior to her. If your friend's behavior has been less than perfect, you can assume there was a good reason behind it and leave it at that. But you tend to go for the extreme serious instead. Even when you know there are different ways of thinking about it, I think you tend to rank things and seek extremes in your reality, which is why your behavior changes when the other person's behavior changes. You give as much as you've received, and that's going to be a burden in the long run. Me. You're right. I end up thinking, I'm looking for a genuine relationship, but is my friend simply lonely and wanting to lean on me? Does she think of me as nothing but a crutch? And as soon as that thought occurred to me, I said to myself, I hate that. Psychiatrist. That anxiety could have made your friend more anxious because the other person can mirror you subconsciously. It's like a magnet. When you want to get closure, they move away. And when you want to move away, they move closer. In general, thinking in extremes blocks out the nuances of relationships. You might have thought she was being annoying and enjoyed her attention as well. Me. You're right. I was annoyed by her attention, but I enjoyed it too. What kind of a pervert am I? Psychiatrist. Why would you call yourself a pervert? Anyone and everyone can feel annoyed by and enjoy attention at the same time. Just think of it as your smallest way of guarding your self-esteem. That's all there is to it. Me. So I'm fine? Psychiatrist. You are. Me. I've always lived in very small houses. You know how you can just glance at an apartment's balcony and guess how many bedrooms it has? I was so ashamed of people knowing this, but then I was ashamed of myself for being ashamed. Which is why, as an adult, I would just tell my partners or my friends outright, pretending to be all nonchalant. But I saw how my sisters kept lying about our house. I confronted them and said, "Why are you lying about yourselves?" They replied, "Well, what a difference does it make if we do? It's not like you need to go around deliberately telling people how poor we are." They said it like it was nothing to them, and when I had felt so guilty about lying. Psychiatrist. But that's not unreasonable of them, is it? If it makes things easier for them. Me. Oh. Psychiatrist. You keep obsessively holding yourself to those standards, forcing yourself to fit them. It's another way among many for you to keep punishing yourself. Me. Do you think I'm getting better in your professional opinion? Psychiatrist. I think you're doing fine. Why do you ask? Me. I feel like I'm getting better. I feel better at work. Psychiatrist. And more than anything else, you have an annoying new friend. Me. I'm annoyed all the time though, no matter who it is. And I'm so envious of people who think, who cares if this person doesn't like me? Who cares if they think I'm an annoying person? Psychiatrist. Do you think every behavior falls into a category of they did this because they hate me or they did this because they like me? The whole point of not liking your friend's behavior means you don't like her behavior, not your friend as a person. But right now, you keep interpreting every behavior exhibited by your friend as a rejection. Me. I'm always like that. Any reaction can make me think, oh, she must not like me anymore. Psychiatrist. Your mind immediately goes to the most extreme explanation instead of stopping to think of the many other reasons your friend could be doing what she's doing. You keep applying these extreme standards to others. In effect, it's your own thoughts that are torturing you. Me. Yes, I kept thinking extreme thoughts, which makes me think I need to pursue a healthy relationship instead. Psychiatrist. There's no absolute good when it comes to relationships. And it's perfectly healthy to have disagreements with friends and lovers from time to time. I just hope you learn to differentiate the parts from the whole. Just because you like one thing about a person, you don't need to like everything about them. Just because you don't like one thing about a person, it doesn't mean the person as a whole isn't worth your time. I think you should get in the habit of thinking differently. Do not depend on dependence. Emotions have something like passageways, and if you keep blocking your bad emotions, you end up blocking your good emotions as well. I think I've come to rely on my psychiatrist. Until now, they were kind of absolute good in my life, professional and always ready with solutions. I want to shed all tedious emotions. I don't want to pretend I'm special. Although remembering that you're special is important in its way, but I do want to be happy. I don't want others' emotions or behaviors dominating my mood or negative thought processes imprisoning me in the land of extremes. I want to break down all these repetitive behaviors and keep me within the constraints of rules and molds. I want to own my own life, to do everything I want to do, so I don't have a life of regret. Does pushing myself into extreme emotions make me happy? What do I get from objectifying myself and implying impossible standards to everything about myself? Sometimes I need to rationalize to protect myself. This desire to look at myself objectively has been the reason I have put a knife to my heart for such a long time. What I need to practice from now on is to stop trapping myself in some formula of this is what I have to be doing, and to simply acknowledge the fact that I'm an independent individual.